I'm Davis, and I'm going to do a real quick video on how the public school system, I think, relates to environmental climate change and how we deal with it. Ever since we were 5 years old, we are taught that when you do something good, you get a gold star. Or when you do well on a test, you get an A. And it's this sudden, real quick idea that I'm gonna get something for a small amount of work. I do a little bit and then I get a prize, and then I do a little bit and then I get a prize, and then I do a little bit and I get a prize. And so everything is segmented into these tiny things, and it's instant gratification. On top of that, with grades, we are taught that we're on hierarchy. So if you get an A, you're a good student. If you get a C or a D or an F, right, you're a bad student, and you're seen as lower. And we're taught to, we're socialized to put ourselves in a hierarchy, and to relate to others both in relationships and in school settings in that way. That means that going into the world, we are placing things on a hierarchy, and we're, with grades and with this amount, and with how the public school system teaches, it teaches very individual. It teaches, oh, you do good, you get this. And the American dream plays into that as well, of you're an individual, and if you do well for you. And you can accomplish anything if you think that, if you work hard enough. And so then with that, growing up and going into environmentalism, we're seeing climate change. It's a huge issue. Climate change is gigantic. And when we've been taught from when we were very, very young that when you do a tiny thing, you get a star. When you do a tiny thing, then you get an A. Or and it goes in here and one out the other, and you just have to regurgitate, then we're not properly equipped to deal with big issues. So we procrastinate. And we procrastinate both in papers and essays, but we also procrastinate with this amazingly huge issue that we really need to focus on. That means that now it becomes worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and we don't have the tools to deal with that. On top of that, we have been taught that it's very individual, so we don't have this idea of community. And so when we are in community with other people, we don't put ourselves in a hierarchy as much. But since we don't know how to relate to other people through community, since we don't know how to be open and level and work through things with other people because we've been taught it's so individual, then we don't know how to be in community with nature. And we don't know how to be in community with everything else on our ecosystem. And with that, it becomes a hierarchy of humans are better than other animals and creatures, and we deserve more. And these are all in quotes. And we can't do anything wrong because we're an A+ student. We built all of this stuff, we're the best species. And so I think that the public school system is influencing how we are interacting with climate change. Thank you for watching.